6ix9ine comes to LA. It's all
expect me to be good to people that wasn't good to me. Man.
New footage has gone viral showing Trippie Redd locked up behind bars. And this time, people are saying his arrest is tied directly to the shocking homicide of 6ix9ine's girlfriend. Remember when Trippie made that wild threat? Now fans are convinced he actually followed through.
Bro's a weirdo, bro. He be coming to my sessions, he'll sit there and be quiet, act like a bitch, bro. And he gonna say shit, bro. Like, he always in the cut, like, whispering and on some, like, little weird gay shit. Like, bro is not no savage, bro. Like, he's not really about anything, bro. And the fact that I gave this the clout.
Not by going after 6ix9ine himself, but by targeting someone close to him. And the way investigators claim they pinned it on him, that's the part that's leaving everybody stunned. In just 3 short weeks, the hip-hop scene was hit with back-to-back bombshells. First, 6ix9ine's close friend and rumored girlfriend, Ariela La Langosta Maya Polanco, was brutally slayed in cold blood on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York. Then, before fans could even process that tragedy, footage of Trippie sitting in jail surfaced online, sparking rumors he'd been arrested for the slaying. With the ugly, messy history between Trippie and 6ix9ine, people instantly started connecting the dots.
I don't think you understand.
No, you don't understand. I don't care if you're Drake. So right now, you should be arrested. I don't care who you have next to you. I don't care who you are. You have no license. The reason that I stopped you is because of your tinted windows. We both know what you were doing in there.
Their feud runs all the way back to 2017, a mix of street politics, betrayal, and personal drama that turned into a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. And at the center of it all, a girl named AX. This wasn't just some everyday breakup story. This was raw drama that spilled into the music and the streets. Trippie was dating AX between 2016 and 2017, right when his career was blowing up with mixtapes like A Love Letter to You. She wasn't just his girl, she was front and center on his socials. She inspired songs like Love Scars, and she played that ride or die role while helping him build his image. But then, 6ix9ine slid into the picture right after their breakup, and by mid-2017, he was dating her too. To Trippie, that was a straight violation of the street code. In that world, respect is everything. And to Trippie, 6ix9ine crossed the line by chasing AX after him. That's when Trippie started blasting him online, throwing shots and straight up calling 6ix9ine a pedophile and a weirdo in viral rants that had the internet on fire. This beef wasn't just about bruised egos, it was about respect, loyalty, and the codes that matter in the culture. But the disrespect hit a whole new level when 6ix9ine decided to flip the lyrics of his smash hit Gummo during a live club performance. Instead of sticking to the script, he rapped, "Shout out Trippie Redd, that nah OBH," putting Trippie on blast in front of the world.
That's how they supposed to treat each other. Oh, Mickey Mouse.
Go ahead.
Clown that.
Go ahead.
Take a picture.
Go ahead.
Take a picture. I want to be famous now. I want to be famous. Fuck.
Yo, this is Jump 6ix9ine, bro. Yo, homie, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a fan, bro. No, I'm a fan. I'm just saying, bro. I'm a fan, bro. I know, I ain't jumpy, bro. I'm just saying.
That clip spread like wildfire online, and to fans, it looked like 6ix9ine was purposely humiliating him in public, straight up throwing gasoline on a fire that was already blazing. In hip-hop, that kind of disrespect isn't forgotten. It sticks, it festers, and it creates enemies for life. And if that wasn't enough, the business side made the situation even messier. Trippie claimed he was the one who opened doors for 6ix9ine, even saying he played a role in helping him land his deal with 10K projects. On top of that, Trippie said he had a finder's fee locked in, supposedly pocketing 10% off every 6ix9ine hit, from Gummo to Kiki. Whether that's fact or just Trippie's version of the story, one thing's clear. He felt like he built a monster that turned around and bit him. And when professional jealousy mixes with betrayal, especially in hip-hop where real street ties come into play, things can turn deadly in a heartbeat. Trippie made it clear where he stood, saying, "Y'all expect me to be good to people that wasn't good to me." But this wasn't just online back and forth anymore. The beef spilled into the real world. In November 2017, 6ix9ine allegedly set up a physical attack on Trippie at a New York hotel. This wasn't random. It was calculated revenge, with gang members from the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods pulling the strings. Anthony Harv Ellison, one of 6ix9ine's muscles, punched Trippie square in the mouth. Trippie later hopped on Instagram Live, showing off his busted lip and calling out 6ix9ine by name for orchestrating the hit. That's when he dropped those direct threats that had everybody paying attention. And here's where things twist even darker. During 6ix9ine's 2019 federal trial, he testified that Trippie was connected to the 5'9" Brims, a rival set to his own 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. Suddenly, this wasn't just personal drama. This was gang politics playing out in front of the whole world. Whether 6ix9ine's claims in court were truth or just a desperate attempt to justify himself, one thing's for sure. It added a whole new layer of street heat to their feud. This wasn't just another rap beef. This was real gang politics colliding with personal revenge and industry competition. The 5'9" Brims aren't some wannabe crew. They're a certified force with deep reach across multiple cities, tied to heavy fraud schemes, illicit substance operations, and violent hits including shootings and slayers. In January 2025, Marvin Muck Pippins, a known 5'9" Brim, got sentenced to life in prison for the homicide of Sean Pert, a Real Right member in Brooklyn. And just a month later, in February 2025, 14 members of the 5'9" Brims and their allies, the Bloodhound Brims, were indicted in Brooklyn for conspiracy charges tied to homicide and 19 different shootings. These aren't internet gangsters. These are documented slayers with federal cases to back their names. On the surface, it looked like the beef between Trippie and 6ix9ine cooled off after 2019, when 6ix9ine snitched on his 9 Trey associates to shave his sentence down from life to just 2 years. But the streets don't forgive betrayal. That kind of stain doesn't wash off. It lingers, it festers, and it waits for the perfect moment to strike.
6ix9ine comes to LA. It's over. And I'm in New York right now, bro. You feel me? So it's like, if y'all really think, bro, about that, bro, really go tell that, like, pull up right now. Like, right now. Like, cause bro, you want to know what bro did? Bro had niggas waiting for me at my hotel. Some 9 Trey. As soon as I walk in the building, hit right in my mouth, nigga. Got hit in my mouth. Then my niggas beat his niggas' asses and then they ran. I chased the nigga myself, mostly. I ran them niggas down myself. Me, myself, and I. Died on the hotel lobby. Them niggas hoes for real though. All them y'all niggas. They don't know. This my battle war. It's my battle war. You know me. But yeah, 6ix9ine done. 6ix9ine cannot come to LA.
6ix9ine stands for sexual position because he sucks rainbow haired fat. Tekashi, I hope you, bro. And
I just got back from a video shoot. He did.
6ix9ine got STDs. Fact.
He wanna preach. He wanna preach all this positive.
By flipping on his crew, 6ix9ine earned the forever label of snitch, and that instantly made him a walking target. Even prosecutors warned at sentencing, there is no question the defendant's life will never be the same. They made it clear that he and his family would have to move differently, constantly watching their backs. But here's the cold part. That danger didn't just hang over him. Everyone in his orbit was exposed. Ariela La Langosta Mea Polanco, the woman at the center of this tragedy, found herself pulled right into that deadly circle. And as investigators peel back the layers, one fact stands out. The streets don't forget. In hip-hop, when gang politics and revenge come into play, the blow doesn't always land on the main target. Sometimes it hits the people closest to them. When it comes to the streets, the people closest to the target often pay the highest price. Whether Trippie Redd actually had a hand in Ariela's homicide is still a mystery. But the timing, the history, and the politics surrounding it got everybody glued to this case. This wasn't some random shooting in the night. This was a calculated move, carefully planned and executed with precision. So let's break down Ariela's final moments. The streets are calling it what it looks like. 6ix9ine's inner circle being hunted in a deadly hit. Ariela Mejia Polanco, better known as Ariela La Langosta, was found lifeless inside her black Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon on the eastbound Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York around 8 a.m. Police wasted no time calling it what it was. Not a robbery gone wrong, not mistaken identity. but a targeted homicide. They even described it as orchestrated, meaning someone mapped this out step by step. And let's be real. When law enforcement uses that kind of language, you know this wasn't sloppy street violence. This was an execution. Ariela wasn't just some Instagram face riding off 6ix9ine's clout. At 33 years old, this Dominican powerhouse had carved her own lane in New York's nightlife, stacking her name as a bartender, dancer, and model. With over 566,000 followers on Instagram, she wasn't chasing attention. She already had it. That night, she was on her grind, leaving a shift at Icon New York Lounge in Manhattan, where she held it down as a beloved hostess and bartender, all while raising 2 kids and keeping up her lifestyle. But the crime scene painted a chilling picture. Her luxury SUV riddled with bullet holes, windows shattered, her life stolen by multiple gunshot wounds confirmed by the Westchester County Medical Examiner. Whoever pulled the trigger wasn't aiming to scare. They aimed to end, and they did it with ruthless efficiency. Here's where things get even messier. Ariela wasn't just a casual acquaintance of 6ix9ine. She'd appeared in his 2023 Wait music video, hit the stage with him at venues like Tobo Room in New York, and was seen right beside him in public. That made her a visible part of his inner circle, a dangerous place to be when your name is tied to the streets the way 6ix9ine's is. And while some media outlets rushed to call her his girlfriend, sources like TMZ and USA Today later clarified her real role. But by then, the streets already had their own story. Ariela wasn't just some background figure. She was a close friend and trusted associate of 6ix9ine, and that's what makes this whole situation even more chilling. His reaction to her passing showed just how deep their bond really was. On August 18, 2025, he flooded his Instagram stories with emotional tributes, calling her a tremendous woman, the Queen of New York, and my sister. He even wrote, "You supported me in everything. NY won't ever be the same. I loved you." Alongside those words, he dropped clips and photos of them together, all set to Ventura's Obsession, a song he revealed was their personal favorite. What shocked people most was the side of 6ix9ine that surfaced in those posts. This is the same man who built his career trolling, mocking, and sparking chaos online, suddenly showing genuine heartbreak. He even switched to Spanish, writing, "Te amé, mi Nora," a heartfelt term of endearment. His use of sister, his tone, the raw vulnerability, it all pointed to grief that seemed very real. But the timing couldn't have been more suspicious. Ariela's homicide happened just 6 days before 6ix9ine himself got arrested on August 23, 2025, for violating supervised release. His charges: unauthorized travel to Las Vegas, failing illicit substance tests, and skipping mandatory screenings. None of it had anything to do with Ariela's homicide, but the overlap had people buzzing, spinning wild theories about whether the two events were somehow connected. And here's the cold truth. Even if there's no direct link, 6ix9ine's life of beefs and betrayals has put everyone around him in the line of fire. Ever since he flipped in 2019 and testified against his own 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods associates, he's been stamped with the snitch label, the deadliest stain you can carry in street culture. Prosecutors even warned at sentencing, saying, "There is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same," and stressing that both he and his family would forever need extra protection. The streets don't forgive, and they definitely don't forget. In his testimony, 6ix9ine even admitted why he tied himself to 9 Trey in the first place, saying, "I wanted the aesthetic to be full of 9 Trey," while confessing he funneled money to buy firearms and keep the gang strong as long as he kept making hits. That confession didn't just expose him, it put everyone connected to him in danger. 6ix9ine's decision to cooperate with the feds didn't just shake his own world. It put dominoes in motion that landed high-ranking names behind bars, including Anthony Harv Ellison and Aljamiah Nuke Mack. And when Ariela was slayed, social media instantly tied it back to his snitch past. Comment sections lit up with harsh takes like, "That's why you don't date walking targets," and "Being that close to him is crazy." Others speculated even darker, with posts asking if Ariela herself was snitching too, hinting that maybe she was punished for perceived disloyalty in gang circles. But while the internet painted one narrative, the people who knew her best told another story. The nightlife venues where Ariela worked poured their hearts out in public tributes that showed just how loved she was. Icon New York posted on Instagram, "We lost our shining star, Darla Lagoa. Our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out. Thank you for giving so much love and support to our home, which also became yours." Starlets of New York also mourned her, writing, "The entire Starlets family is deeply saddened by the loss of Wara Lagoa. She was a one-of-a-kind soul, a beautiful friend, loving mother and daughter whose smile and energy lit up every room she entered." These tributes proved Ariela wasn't just some woman in 6ix9ine's shadow. She was her own force, with relationships and respect built far beyond his world. But here's where things get complicated. Reports started surfacing that Ariela may have also been romantically linked to Nada Cartier, a suspected gang leader who was detained for questioning after her slaying. If true, that connection opens the door to a whole different motive. That her passing might have been tied not to 6ix9ine's past, but to Cartier's alleged street activity. To this day, no solid updates on Cartier's status have been released, leaving the speculation wide open. The tributes didn't stop with the venues either. Huge figures in the hip-hop scene showed love too. Cardi B posted on her stories, "R.I.P. Dominican Pretty," honoring Ariela's Dominican roots and her influence in the culture. Latin rapper L.A. and Super Bowl also paid respects, mourning the loss of someone who clearly had a real presence in the Dominican music community. That's what makes this whole tragedy even harder to swallow. Ariela wasn't just surviving, she was thriving, building something positive in her life. And yet, she still ended up caught in the crossfire of the streets. Ariela's last Instagram post hit different after the tragedy. On June 7th, 2025, she wrote, "Happy and blessed, sharing a carefree night out." But behind that post was a mother hustling non-stop, holding down multiple jobs in New York's cutthroat nightlife scene, stacking her brand and taking care of her kids. Now, her slaying has pulled in local, state, and even federal investigators. Yet as of August 24th, 2025, no suspects have been officially named, no arrests made. Westchester County Police say the case is active, but the silence suggests one of two things. Either this investigation is insanely complex, or the feds are keeping it airtight so they don't tip their hand. But here's the bigger picture. 6ix9ine's past makes anybody in his circle a target. His loud persona, his endless beefs, and most of all his infamous snitch label turned his life into a ticking time bomb. Those tattoos, including that massive 69 across his forehead, make witness protection laughable. And his refusal to cut ties with the streets means danger follows him everywhere. Anyone standing close to him is basically inheriting the risk, whether they realize it or not. Now let's stack that up against Trippie Redd. When you pit Trippie's so-called street resume against 6ix9ine's bloody gang history, the difference is wild. One looks like a small-time hustler with a couple of messy run-ins, while the other looks like a federal case study in how gang politics ruin lives. That's why one has people around him getting gunned down, while the other mostly racks up petty charges. Trippie's record, for all the tough talk in his music, is surprisingly light. Let's rewind. Back in 2017, early in his come-up, he allegedly got into a scuffle in Atlanta, but nothing major came of it, no charges filed. Typical young rapper chaos, nothing more. His first real heat came in May 2018 when he was arrested in Atlanta for aggravated assault and battery after a woman claimed he pistol whipped her during an argument. Serious accusation, right? But it didn't stick. Trippie got released on just a $5,000 bond, and the case ended without a conviction. In the streets, that doesn't exactly scream Slayer credentials. It screams another rapper brushing off legal drama and moving on. That kind of outcome usually means one of two things. Either the case was weak, or somebody cut a deal behind the scenes. Either way, Trippie walked away without any major consequences. Then, just a month later in June 2018, he got slapped with another charge in New York for a public fight outside a nightclub. Nothing more than a disorderly conduct misdemeanor. Straight clown activity. the kind of thing young rappers catch when fame hits early and the partying gets reckless. He paid his fine and kept it moving. After that came another minor slip. Arrested for driving without a license. Again, nothing that screams street legend, just sloppy choices stacking up on his record. But here's the twist. Back in November 2017, Trippie wasn't the aggressor at all. He was the victim. That's when 6ix9ine's 9 Trey crew ran down on him at a New York hotel. Anthony Harv Ellison punched him in the mouth on 6ix9ine's orders, and Trippie went straight to Instagram Live showing his busted lip. That moment flipped the script. He wasn't playing the tough guy, he was the target. Now compare that to 6ix9ine's rap sheet, and the contrast is insane. It's like night versus day. While Trippie's stacking misdemeanors and petty charges, 6ix9ine was making headlines for federal-level crimes. By November 2018, 6ix9ine was arrested in a massive joint investigation involving the NYPD, Homeland Security Investigations, ICE, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. This wasn't some local dust-up. This was a full-blown RICO case against the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, with 6ix9ine right in the middle. But the wildest moment came on July 16, 2018, when 6ix9ine conspired to have someone shot just for disrespecting 9 Trey. The hit went down in Brooklyn, and instead of striking the target, an innocent bystander caught the bullet. That's the difference right there. While Trippie was stacking petty misdemeanors for bar fights, 6ix9ine was literally green-lighting shootings in broad daylight. Now let's get into the gang talk, because this is where things get messy. During his 2019 federal trial, 6ix9ine testified under oath that Trippie Redd was part of the 5'9" Brims, a rival faction to his 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. He flat out told the court, Trippie Redd was part of 5'9" Brims. That's why we had issues. That statement suggested their beef wasn't just about music or women. It was about gang lines being crossed. And here's the thing. The 5'9" Brims aren't just another rap crew posing tough on social media. These guys are a certified criminal enterprise. The set was born in San Diego back in the 1970s and spread into major cities like New York and Atlanta. They're known for big money fraud operations, illicit substance trafficking, and heavy violence. Shootings, slayers, you name it. The receipts don't lie either. In January 2025, Marvin Muck Pippins, a 5'9" Brim, got sentenced to life for slaying Sean Pert, a real right member in Brooklyn. Then, just a month later, in February 2025, 14 members of the 5'9" Brims and their allies, the Bloodhound Brims, were indicted in Brooklyn for conspiracy charges tied to homicide and 19 different shootings. These aren't wannabes, they're real deal, federally documented hitters. But here's where it gets tricky. Outside of 6ix9ine's courtroom testimony, there's no hard evidence proving Trippie ever really repped 5'9" Brims. Trippie's response to those allegations was cryptic at best. He hit Instagram with a post saying, "Lamau, I was so determined to get to where I am now. Love you all in my life," without confirming or denying anything. Smart move, because keeping quiet kept him from catching more legal heat, while also not giving 6ix9ine the satisfaction of a direct response. Trippie's early ties go back to the 1400/800 blocks in Canton, Ohio, where he linked with local Bloods as a teen, but that always seemed more like neighborhood culture than full-fledged gang banging. Still, in a world where rumors travel faster than facts, silence sometimes speaks the loudest. Trippie's story takes a different turn when you look at his roots. His older brother, who rapped under the name Dirty Red, was tragically ended in a 2014 car accident. Instead of pushing him deeper into the streets, that loss became fuel for Trippie's music career. A way to honor his brother through success, not gang activity. Now contrast that with 6ix9ine's world, and you start to see why credibility is a problem. This is the same man who shaved a potential life sentence down to just 2 years by flipping on his 9 Trey associates in federal court. And let's be real. With a history built on trolling, antics, and provocation, every word that comes out of his mouth gets side-eyed. His lawyer, Lance Lazaro, tried to spin it, saying, "People who call Mr. Hernandez a coward for testifying are the real cowards." But in the streets, snitching is the ultimate betrayal. No excuses, no passes. That's why prosecutors flat out said at sentencing, There is no question the defendant's life will never be the same. They warned that 6ix9ine and his family would need constant safety precautions forever, because once you break the code, you never stop being a target. And the streets proved them right in March 2023, when 6ix9ine was ambushed inside an LA fitness gym. Multiple men brutally beat him down so badly he needed hospitalization. Even though no solid proof linked that attack to 9 Trey retaliation, the speculation lit up instantly. The internet and the streets both buzzing that payback was catching up to him. And that's the scary part. Anyone orbiting 6ix9ine, whether it's a romantic partner or just a close friend like Ariela, inherits the danger of his choices. Meanwhile, look at how Trippie handles things. Sure, his 2018 track I Kill People carried heavy violent imagery, but compared to 6ix9ine's real-life gang ties, Trippie's tough talk looks more like music bravado than blood-soaked reality. At the end of the day, Trippie's violent bars were just that. Artistic expression, a staple in hip-hop, not actual criminal activity. 6ix9ine, on the other hand, admitted in open court that he wasn't just rapping. He was really putting money on people's heads. He testified, on or about June 2nd, 2018, in furtherance of 9 Trey, I paid a person to shoot at a rival member of 9 Trey to scare him. That's not music, that's a confession of street warfare. By 2025, the paths of these two rappers couldn't look more different. Trippie's latest run-in with the law was light, a July 4th arrest at Miami International Airport over an old 2023 warrant tied to driving without a license. He posted a $150 bond and walked free. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine's August 23rd, 2025 arrest was way more serious. Violations of his supervised release from his federal case, including illicit substance possession and unauthorized travel. And then there's the tragedy that ties it all together, the homicide of Ariela La Langosta. Whether it connects directly to 6ix9ine's past or not, it proves one harsh reality. Gang affiliations always leave collateral damage. The violence doesn't just follow the rappers, it spills onto the people closest to them. Trippie's alleged 5'9" Brim's ties have never been confirmed, and his rap sheet mostly shows petty scrapes. But 6ix9ine's well documented. 9 Trey life created a cloud of danger over everyone in his circle. That's the cruel truth. The streets don't care if you're a girlfriend, a friend, or just someone standing too close. If you're tied to someone with enemies, you inherit the risk. And Ariela's passing is a heartbreaking reminder of that. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Ariela's homicide was tied to 6ix9ine's past, or was it something else entirely? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I'll catch you on the next one.